cold as shit.
Okay, we're live.
We're live, huh? Shit.
It's been a minute since I did the ice bath.
Ooh.
Okay, I just smoked half a joint. Do you think Michelle Obama's a man or a woman?
Gun to my head?
Gun to your head.
A woman.
Okay.
But
I think I'm on board with that.
yeah, gun to my head, she's a woman, but I think she's a man.
Did you Did you see the thing Alex Jones was saying about it?
About Michelle?
Michael
Recently?
Mike.
Michael? Oh, Mike? What did he say?
I should have sent it to you.
Is it recent?
I don't know. I saw it got posted by somebody else.
Who is that celebrity, the old lady that,
Betty White.
No, it was a different one. But she basically said,
Oh, you're
in
still
an
talking
interview,
about Obama.
Yeah. In an interview, she said, "Oh, we all know that she's trans." And then she died like a week after the interview.
Who was that?
I'll find out. Well, people were talking about her running for president, right? And that she would actually win.
She would win, I think.
She would win. Well, dude, Kamala, you saw that clip?
Not likable at all.
No.
She was a horrible pick. You know what I think? I think there's a reason that those two are so fucking unlikable.
Why?
I think there's a reason, and I think they're doing it on purpose. I don't know exactly what it is yet. But that's what it seems like to me, because they're so fucking bad. Someone was telling me about...
it was Joan Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
Joan Rivers was joking that Obama's gay and the first lady is transgender. Which, yeah, I think Obama's gayer than shit.
I think Obama's still running shit.
No, he is. He said that's what he wanted to do, right? He wanted to kind of run things from the back end.
That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
And maybe them just looking so bad is just that having like a bad front man for everything is not the worst idea.
Well, listen.
While you control from behind the scenes, you have just an idiot up front that everyone just points their finger at, right?
Yeah, they just blame him.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I work with dementia patients, right? I see them every day. He
has like any doctor that is, or any psychologist, doctor, whatever.
No,
they all say the same shit. He has dementia.
Any person can see that.
Yes.
You wouldn't even let him run Hoskins trucks.
I don't.
You wouldn't even let him be your salesman. I don't think I'd let him be
my janitor. He would probably not do a very good job.
No. Yet he's running the free world.
But he's not, though.
No, he's not. But
he's not. But that's the point, I think. They put an idiot up front. I think that's what it is, and I just figured that out.
Yeah, but how about Kamala, dude? It's like people wanted a woman of color, and she's an idiot.
An idiot.
Like, I'm smarter than her, and I'm not very smart.
It's just so clear to me with her that she's in it for the power.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And that makes her so unlikable.
She's and so laugh. Well, yeah, you know about like her keeping people in prison, right?
Let's play that clip. Play that clip of her. Are you freezing?
Oh, yeah. The clip.
Do you need a hoodie or something?
No, the clip that I sent you today.
Yes.
That's some shit. She's retarded.
Play it.
Does the administration say, you know what, this strategy isn't working. We're going to change strategies. 6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration.
It sounds like Michael Scott from The Office.
To change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day.
What the fuck does that mean?
For us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
At what point?
What?
That hurts my head.
Holy shit. All right. What about COVID? You got COVID.
You got COVID too or no?
I think I got
You
it.
didn't test?
Fuck no. I didn't even test the first time. I just knew I had it. The first time I lost my taste and smell though.
Yeah.
This time I didn't lose it, but I've been talking to like a bunch of other people that have it right now, and also everyone in our office has it.
Dude,
So
everyone has it.
yeah.
Like literally everybody, even like Daniel and Sarah in Texas, they have it. Everybody
It's
has it.
just super-
Schools, there's no school in Texas right now. There's no teachers. They're all sick and there's no subs. So they just said, okay, go home.
So they're gonna try and lock us down again.
Well,
I think.
I don't know because
You saw they knocked down the fucking
Yeah.
That surprised me,
mandate.
dude. That surprised me because I think the Supreme Court is corrupt.
They're corrupt as
as
shit.
fuck.
yeah.
So I don't know if this was
I
just
think
for
it was 6-3. So 3 people voted for it. So that was for basically 80 million workers, private companies, but the mandate is still in effect for government employees,
right.
healthcare workers, things
Yeah,
like
which
that.
is stupid. Healthcare workers is stupid.
It's stupid because they're saying, oh, you can come back to work with COVID, but then they fired people that didn't have COVID because they didn't get the vaccine. Because they've changed, the 5-day thing, right? So these PCR tests and these at-home tests, you could test positive. They're saying up to 12 weeks after you have COVID. So they're saying, okay, do a 5-day thing, which,
Yeah, they're saying 5-day quarantine now.
yeah. Crazy, right? Yeah, so I can't taste or
can't
smell
taste?
shit.
And did you have a sore throat?
I don't have a sore throat. I had a fever, chills for about 8 hours on Wednesday. And then I did my COVID protocol. And
What'd you
then
do?
I lost my taste on Monday. But other than that, I've been good. So I did the old,
Ivermectin?
the horse dewormer. But it was actually a pill, not a paste. So it was from the pharmacy.
Yeah, they make it for humans.
I didn't know that.
They make it for humans.
Can you believe that?
They've had it. Fucking humans have been using it for like 30 years.
Yeah, like the 70s, I think, or
Yeah.
the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 70s actually. 30, 40 years.
Well, yeah, they said there's like been billions of use cases and like less than 100 people have had
There's
adverse
like almost
reactions.
no bad side effects.
Yeah. So I took that.
As opposed to the fucking vaccine.
Did you see some of these interviews coming out?
What?
Them asking the CDC director. Well, I think she's the director. She's like that.
Yeah, they're starting to admit everything.
They're asking her like, hey, how many adverse reactions or how many bad reactions to the shot? How many people have died? And she's like, oh, I don't have that, but it's really small. And Fauci like takes his mask off and he's like, less than 100. And they're like, huh? He said, theirs is in the thousands, like 20,000. And he's like, well, this is what Fauci said. He said, well, if you get the vaccine, you get in a car crash after and die, then that goes to VAERS.
I saw that.
I'm like,
That doesn't make sense.
what about the COVID, the COVID deaths?
But we also have evidence from Veritas that
Yeah.
they were doing the opposite,
yeah.
right? Fucking, I can't understand. Sometimes I just wonder, like, do our brains just connect dots that aren't actually connected? Because there's way too much weird shit like going on to make me not think that there's like one group that's in charge of everything. But I saw in those videos, like I saw some clips of that Fauci and they ask him a question and you can tell he's lying and he's like
Dude,
shaking.
he's nervous. Huh?
Yeah.
Like when Rand Paul presses him. Dude, Rand Paul is a badass. He's a badass.
He is.
Because he's like not going to take shit. And he's super smart. He's an
smart.
actual doctor.
Right.
So it's like, well, we're listening to Fauci, who's never treated a COVID patient, who has alternative motives, who's being paid $420,000 by our government
Which is just
Which is
tiny,
a very
tiny
tip
portion of his income.
of what he's making. It's like Pelosi, dude. Pelosi made like 40 million.
I would be as fucking crazy as she is if I was making $41 million a year.
Dude, think of that.
As a politician, I wouldn't give two fucks.
No,
That's the problem is our whole fucking system's broken.
it's broke.
It's not even about the people. The people aren't broken. The fucking system is broken.
The
And no
system's
matter
broke.
who you replace them with, we're gonna keep getting the same results.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah,
to
that's
tear
the
it down.
thing is people want to be like, oh, red wave. Okay, well,
No fucking no more of the same fucking
yeah.
bullshit.
it
How about
doesn't-
that?
It doesn't work. It's not
No,
going to work.
It's not going to work. And this whole
Right,
teams
left.
and politics,
Yeah.
like, no, how about this? How about you have your community? Okay. And they make all the decisions for their community.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. It always is. Which is, I mean, that's what states are for.
Yeah. We're lucky we live in a pretty free state. I know they
Right.
are talking like, oh, okay, mask mandate. Well, Salt Lake County, dude, when I go into different stores in Salt Lake, everybody's wearing a mask. It's absolutely insane. But nobody's told me to wear a mask. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
if you want to, great. And if you don't want to, they're not going to bug you.
It's crazy to me.
But if you lived in
people
California
are
or
still
New York,
doing that shit though. Bro, we were
2
in
years
San
later.
Diego. Everyone outside on the street had a mask on. Every single person I passed walking on the sidewalk.
it's
Or
California.
everyone in like filling up their cars, they all have masks on.
Well, they're all brainwashed,
What
dude.
the fuck is going on?
They're all brainwashed.
Yeah, I mean, like that Dr. Robert Malone
Yeah.
talks about mass.
Mass formation psychosis.
And then the guy that comes on after that says it's actually just called mass formation. Mass formation.
Okay.
But it's
yeah.
basically like they're hypnotized, dude.
Yeah.
People are hypnotized. That's just how the human brain works. It's
Yeah,
like
and
it's like a computer program.
It
that can
starts
be
with
programmed.
like secluding people, right? So
Yeah.
our lockdown, it's like he broke it down in each step.
Yeah, how do they know how to do that?
They've done it before.
They've been doing it the whole time,
Yeah.
right? That's what makes me think there's some far more advanced civilization that's running shit.
Dude, did you ever think it would get this bad? Like, think of the beginning.
Honestly, like when I go back to the very beginning,
Yeah.
I didn't think this would actually happen, but I knew
You
I knew
what
exactly
they
how
were
it would
planning.
play out.
Yeah.
Like it was so obvious to me from the very
But
beginning.
you didn't think that people would actually go along with it for this long, like they have.
I didn't
or
think
you
people
didn't.
would go along with it for
Yeah.
this long.
Me neither. Well, yeah, that's the thing
I
is,
thought like, oh, okay, like we have some dumb fucking people
Mhm.
and like people that are scared. But at some point, like your fear has to be overcome by I'm done, right? But
Yeah.
for that the point that takes for most people far exceeded my expectations. I didn't know people were so scared. I thought like we'd go along with it for like a year, and then people would start to get so pissed off that they'd have to back off, and then people would just eventually figure out the fucking game that we're playing here.
yeah.
That if you comply, you lose more freedom every fucking time, and getting it back takes
Forever.
it takes violence sometimes.
Yeah. And you might not ever get it back.
Yeah, like how many times in history do people get freedoms back without violence?
Never.
You don't read about those stories in your history books.
No. Well, and that's why they're so worried about like the road that we're going down and what a vaccine passport actually is and what it leads to. Because once you go there, you're not coming back
No. Not without a lot of people dying.
for sure. Yeah, because then it's like it's a social credit score.
That's exactly why they are exactly why they talk about January 6th the way they do. By the way, let's talk about that. The way
So why are people so
I would
scared?
love to have a conversation with any single person that legitimately believes that January 6th was terrible for our nation.
Well, I don't get. So I put up that poll, right?
I don't even want to have a conversation with someone that doesn't think that our government being scared of the people is a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, I put up that poll like, hey, what is worse? Which was worse, January 6th or like our withdrawal
Yeah.
from Afghanistan, right? Not so much just like leaving Afghanistan, but like how we did it. 12 Marines died. Thousands are going to starve. We left all our, thousands are going to die because we left our weapons there. And then what? I think 3 or 4 people died on January 6th.
Yeah. Well, like one person died on that day and then like 3 other like died. But those stories are also kind of weird too.
Weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah.
So let's say 3 or 4 Trump supporters died. So why do the liberals even care? Why do they think that they should be cheering?
Because their whole narrative is fucking bullshit. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole fucking narrative is bullshit.
So weird.
But that's why you can't have you can't have a logical conversation with someone like that.
Well, no,
without them like getting angry, emotional, calling you names.
So it's just their hatred.
There's no other out.
It's their hatred for Trump, or what?
They're hypnotized.
Yeah,
they have
because
to be.
there were
it's
some
like
people
they're asleep
that actually said January 6th was worse, and I know who they are, and I know they're being serious. That's the problem.
So that's scary. I can't even think of anyone in my life that I know that would be like that. Maybe they just hide from me because they know how I am.
Well, I just don't get how you could even, and how can you compare like Kamala did January 6th to Pearl Harbor and 9/11? Is that even?
You saw Tucker Carlson called out Ted Cruz?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about Ted Cruz though?
I don't know. What was he doing?
I really wonder if every single fucking politician is just a show. If it's literally all just a theater, and we cheer for ones that are fucking us behind our backs, and we think they're on our team, like Dan Crenshaw, Ted Cruz, even like Rand Paul. Like I love everything Rand Paul says, but is that just one of those guys that they put out there for us? Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, think about it. Think about this group of government. What if they're just all in it together and be like, okay, you're going to play this part. You're going to play this part. You're going to play this part. And they're like, oh, yeah, I get, $15 billion for this or $15 million for this, right? Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Think of Ted, dude. People like him because he'll say some shit. But, yeah, he wants power. He wants money. He wants that more than he wants what's best for the United States. 100%.
Because why wouldn't you? Especially like if you think about it, see you're a politician, like, okay, you get in, you legitimately have good reasoning to be there, right? You really want to help America. You love America. And then you realize you have 2 options. Tell the truth.
Yeah. And people
will hate you. You will lose your job. You'll lose a lot of power. You'll lose money.
Yeah.
Or how about you just go along with this and take care of your family and yourself? And by the way, you're going to have a shit ton of power while you do it.
Well, yeah.
How many humans, especially men, are going to turn down that offer? Hard to say, huh? I don't think I would. And I legitimately consider myself like a good person that wants what's best for community, but you put me in a position where I have to destroy myself rather than help people that I don't necessarily even know. The fucking system's broken. For sure. It's broken.
I think Crenshaw was one or 2 top guys, politicians that made the most money in investments last year. He was
that's why people are calling him out right now, right?
Yeah. He was literally number 2.
So just now with that mindset, start paying attention to Dan Crenshaw and tell me that everything he puts out isn't fucking theater.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's the thing is like I like him too. Like for the most part, I fucking think they're all actors. I think every single one of them is an actor, and I wonder like what part Trump really played.
Yeah. Because
I like Trump a lot, and I liked what he did for America, but that's our perspective, and that may not be the actual truth. It may have just been part of this whole fucking show. that we think is a system that can be fixed or can even work.
Did you see they want to bring Hillary 2024 because they said Joe Biden is not likable?
Is that bitch still alive? She's still fucking alive? Jeez.
Hey, don't call her bitch.
Honestly,
She'll
like,
suicide you.
you know what? Like, she would be the one that they would bring in after Biden that everyone would be like, she's way worse.
Oh, yeah, she's worse. Dude, she lost to Trump, okay? And Trump had his scandal come out in the middle of this whole thing. And Trump was a celebrity.
Now let's think
It's
about
like,
this. What if the whole fucking election from 2016 was all part of the whole fucking show that they're putting on?
Probably
Like,
was.
hey, we're going to have this fucking crazy election where we have this crazy motherfucker, Donald Trump. Hey, by the way, we're going to pay you $14 billion for this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on board. I'll act like the hero and I can get more power and get half the fucking country to love me.
Yeah, if you're president, you're done forever. You make a speech when you retire, you get $1 million, $2 million every speech.
You're done.
You're for sure done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wanted to think that Trump was gonna fix things.
I want to think Trump is a good guy. I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I wonder, with all the conspiracy theories about like Pizzagate, from like all the pedophile stuff to like adrenochrome, like, is it all just fucking made up? They run this whole fucking show. Like, we know they're fucking us, right? We know that part. That's real. But do they just put out this whole fucking show while they do it? Because it's all just a distraction from what they're doing behind the curtains. Right. And like we get on these sides of like, yeah, we think like these guys are right and we're Republicans, and like it's this whole system that's literally designed to split us in two, at least. And that keeps us from making any real progress. Because like, dude, think of like if humans like really like came together, like we really created a world where like people really loved, and like, think about what we could possibly do.
Be way different than what we're doing.
We'd probably be way more evolved.
100%. Oh yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirror bullshit, like with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and then like how Biden right after that was trying to push vaccine mandates, and it's like he knew that wasn't going to pass. They were saying, "Oh, we're never going to mandate vaccines,"
Right?
And then he did that. It's like, hey, look over here. Why? I just let China take over Afghanistan and gave the Afghanis billions in weapons.
And got paid probably a shit ton of money.
Think of
how much money was made how much money was made from the American politicians during the withdrawal from Afghanistan? That's what I'd like to know. Millions of dollars.
Yeah, China was in there like a day later. And what do you think they want there?
Lithium.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, that's the whole reason.
Trillions of dollars worth of lithium.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole reason, dude. We didn't even go into Afghanistan and these other countries for, what were we looking for? We were looking for...
Has there ever been a war that wasn't bullshit?
Mass. It's like, what was it? Weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah. Well, it was all bullshit.
It was all bullshit.
All bullshit. That's what I'm saying is, has there been a war?
Saddam didn't have any.
Has there ever been a war that wasn't made up just to make money?
Vietnam was bullshit.
You'd think like maybe the revolution, right?
Maybe World War II, right? Because
they attacked us first.
Well, yeah, and it was like Hitler's taken over the world.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we're going to fuck you up, But other than that, after World War II, everything else has been bullshit.
Yeah, Vietnam was definitely bullshit.
Vietnam, the Cold War.
Vietnam, I think, was kind of when people started waking up, too, to the government being
Yeah, because people were like, no, I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
I'm not going in the draft. I'm not going to go fight people for no reason.
Yeah, because they didn't really tell them why we were there.
Well, yeah,
right?
we got fucked up in that war too because we didn't know how to fight them, dude.
Yeah, because they were fucking crazy fuckers. The Viet Cong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Man, think about that. Think about being in the Vietnam War. That would be fucking
that'd be
crazy.
crazy. Dude, I've been reading, I read Lone Survivor and American Sniper. And it seems like I love the stories, but it seems like we just wasted a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of warriors in that war.
Yeah, and then politicians made a shit ton of money. A bunch of leaders made a ton of money.
Crazy, right? And it's like, oh, you can't blame the soldiers because
they were doing what they thought was right.
Exactly.
They were doing
we
what they
need
thought
those
was
types
right.
of people.
Yeah.
You want those types of people. So it's like reading their stories. It's really cool, but then if you're like actually thinking about it, what the hell were we doing there?
Yeah, you just got to think about like when I read stuff like that, because I've had the same mentality of like, man, I really want to like be proud of the soldiers, but the wars, they're all fucking bullshit. Like, but at the same time, it's like that doesn't really factor in when you just have brave men doing what they think is right. I think,
Yeah.
you know, you can just let that in and of itself inspire you.
Well, it's like,
But it is fucked up that they take people's lives for gaining power or money or whatever it is, whatever their motives are for going to war, they never tell us the truth.
No. You think there's going to be another big war coming or what?
I don't know. Because it seems like we're in an information war. I think it's different. Like we live in different times.
Yeah.
So it's just a war of basically information and control rather than violence. I hope that's true, but I also don't know if we ever get back our freedom without violence.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to January 6th, because I'm going to say this again. If you really think January 6th is bad, go fuck yourself. And there's a bunch of people out there that they're like, yeah, like it shouldn't have happened. Why? I think it was great. The fact that they fucking flipped the whole narrative kind of fucked it, but politicians should always be scared of the people. There needs to be that balance.
Yeah.
There has to be. That's what maintains freedom.
You saw freaking Romney running like a little bitch.
He's a bitch, dude. Well,
He was
I didn't see
running, dude.
What
there was
happened?
a secure. He was there, and there was
that. Oh,
like
he
a
was running during
security.
January 6th. Of course he was. He's a pussy,
There was
dude.
a security guard like running, like, hey, and he just flips around. He's like, you could tell he's wearing two masks, and he's like running like a bitch.
He's a pussy.
Like, imagine, dude.
He's one of those. You know what I think? I think Romney's a sociopath, and he only cares about power.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Dude, just think of the job of a politician. It's like, if you want to be a politician,
You have to be power
you're
hungry.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, you have to be super power hungry.
And that's why I like had hope for Dan Crenshaw. It's like, okay, ex-Navy SEAL, like Texan, like, okay, you could fix things.
It's a fucking broken system. Doesn't matter who you put in there.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe Marcus Luttrell. I would trust him. I would trust him. I would trust Jocko. I would trust Joe Rogan.
People that literally
Put those people in. Because it's like, think of just what Joe Rogan's done just with COVID. He said, dude, celebrities, professional athletes,
I saw
people call him, hey, what should I do for COVID? Think of how fucked that is. You're asking a comedian, what should I do for COVID? You can't even ask your doctor. That's how far it's gone. Because your doctor is going to say, stay home until you get sick enough. There's no treatment. It's like, what? When have we never treated something? When have we said, stay home until your oxygen goes below 92 and then go into the hospital? Never. And we've seen treatments work in other countries like India. That there's a place in India that has 280 million people.
Almost as the population of the United States.
Yeah, and they've eradicated COVID with ivermectin and a few other things. So obviously things work. They're pushing.
But also, like, Omicron
vaccine.
really isn't killing anyone.
No, dude, it's killed. Last I checked, it had killed like 12 people in the UK. It had killed, they said it had killed a Texan that was 55 unvaccinated. But then they took that back because I think he had 6 comorbidities.
Yeah, okay.
He had probably cancer, freaking diabetes.
Yeah.
Wilford Brimley's
Well,
little
they
brother.
finally came out and admitted, right, that the average COVID death had 4 comorbidities.
Yeah, 75% of
They're like
COVID
starting
deaths.
to come out and admit stuff, which is weird to me. I still think that's weird.
it is weird. Yeah, 75% of COVID deaths had 4 or more comorbidities. That's insane. So I
Which,
think they
dude,
said,
the conspiracy theorists have been talking about this for fucking over a year. Over a year we've been
since
saying
we
this
started,
shit.
yeah.
You remember when people were first sharing that whole thing about the comorbidities?
Yeah.
That was like
That was
probably
forever ago.
over a year ago, and they were
And then
all
people
getting
were like-
taken off.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
They were all getting taken off.
Well, it's from the start of where did the virus originate from? If you said the lab, you were taken off Twitter, you were taken off YouTube, you were taken off Instagram, you were taken off Facebook. Just think how crazy that is. Now they're saying it's 90% sure. They're 90% sure that it came from the lab.
So you look at conspiracy theorists, and like, if you're smart at all, you've seen that. Like, it's so obvious because once you start seeing things and the way things work, you always know what they're going to do next. But people that are asleep don't see it. They just don't see it. Like, so look at a conspiracy theorist, someone who you think is a conspiracy theorist, and look at what they're warning us about next.
Yeah.
Because every fucking step of the way, they've tried to shut up the people that were right. That's how you tell.
Yeah.
Because as soon as
You
they
don't-
start trying to shut you up, that means you're on the right track.
Yeah. You don't shut up people that are saying the bullshit that's not
No,
even true.
they promote that stuff.
Yeah, they promote it.
They
Why
promote
do they
the
care?
bullshit. They promote the misinformation. They're trying to shut down the truth.
And that's why you got to have a ton of respect for those doctors, Robert Malone and Peter McCollum, because
They're fucking. They're risking their life.
their life, their
Everything.
jobs, their family,
Yeah.
everything.
There's a good chance those guys might not
Well,
be around for
no, and Peter McCollum, I guess he is like the most published doctor ever.
He's legit, dude.
Cardiologist, internal medicine doctor.
These aren't fucking.
And Robert Malone is like a vaccine specialist. He took the vaccine. Now he's telling you, hey, do not vaccinate your kids.
Inventor
maybe
of the
we
mRNA
listen.
technology.
Yeah. Maybe we listen to these people without fucking Dr. Fauci and Kamala and Sleepy Joe.
Doesn't make sense to me. It's very obvious to me.
What
who's
were
corrupt and
some
who's
of the
not.
conspiracy theory? Like, what were some of the theories that came true? I guess
All of them?
the comorbidities, how about this? The children, how they count like a hospitalized child. So let's say a kid breaks his arm, goes into the hospital, they automatically swab him.
Uh-huh.
He tests positive. They count that as a COVID hospitalization.
Is that real?
Fauci said this. I have the clip. So
But that's what I'm saying. We've
Yeah,
been
so-
saying this
so-
shit for
so
over a
that's
year,
one
and
of
now
them.
they're admitting it.
So that's one of them. What the vaccine passport? We talked about passports, and people, were
People
like,
thought
no,
we were
that
really crazy.
that will never happen.
And now we're talking about a microchip that they're going to implant us with all of the information so they can control us even more. So time to wake up. Time to wake the fuck up. Please, before they put trackers in us.
Yeah, they're talking about that.
Because
Where
once they
it
do
will
that,
go-
we're done. We
go
are
in
done.
your blood.
We're one step away from being done.
Yeah.
And
We're close.
like really right now we're talking about a fight over what they can put in our bloodstream. We lose this one, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, it's crazy
Because
that
at that
it's
point-
even gotten this far. Like
At that
how-
point, guns don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, like how can they think that you can mandate something that hasn't even been tested?
The only way that makes
properly?
any sense is if people are basically asleep and their
They
brains
are.
are like programs that have been programmed by someone
are
who
asleep.
knows what they're doing.
How about this? The judge said Pfizer has 8 months to
Yeah.
release the data.
That they weren't
Not
going to release till 2096.
5 years.
Yeah, but what? They're just going to cook it, don't you think? They're just going to cook all the data.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like, okay, that's a win. It should have come out sooner than 8 months, but it's not 75 years. The FDA is so full of shit, dude. FDA, CDC.
Every three letter department that is in the government is absolutely fucked. Just take the whole thing. There's not one single part of the government that works. There's not.
No, there's not. So many people don't trust the CDC. That's what's hilarious. Is they've gone so far on so many bullshits that most people are awake now. Even the
You think?
lefties that are like, oh yeah, like I love my mask, and
Yeah, but why the fuck are they still wearing them then?
because they're afraid, dude. But they're afraid, but they can still see it.
Yeah,
I think most people can see the bullshit.
I get that. But there's no other way out. No other way out than to do things that are scary because we let it get to this point, and when we could have just at the very fucking beginning been like, nope, I'm not closing my fucking business.
Yeah,
Like we did. I actually never had to because a dealership is technically an essential business. But there's no fucking way in hell I would have shut my business. I won't shut my business. I won't shut my business one motherfucking day that the government tells me I have to close it. Never will.
Club Image
Never
ever
have.
have to shut down or no?
Yeah,
of
the
surgery?
doctor shut it
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
How long did it shut down for?
Not as long as we were supposed to.
That's crazy.
If that was my practice and I was a doctor, no fucking way I wouldn't have closed.
Think of the redistribution of wealth that happened in the last 2 years.
Oh my gosh. It's the thing
There's
is
no middle class
I think
anymore.
I
There
think
won't
that
be.
we're just seeing the beginning of it. I think it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
iceberg that we're now seeing the top of that you're going to see over the next 5 years that so many people, like if you're in the middle class and you're not super adaptive,
Yeah.
you're going
you're
to end
going-
up extremely poor in 5 years.
For
Your
sure.
your $100,000 a year job is not going to be
No,
enough.
It's not going to cut it when there's.
You need to be very strategic about what you're doing, especially with your money right now, or you're going to end up being extremely poor.
They said that December was 7% inflation, so in reality, it's double that.
At least, yeah.
That's the highest we've seen in 50 years. So, yeah, there's going to be no middle class.
Like, here's the thing. Like, okay, dude, inflation is fucking great if you're smart.
Yeah. If you have
Like,
a shit
I'm
ton
going to
of
be
money.
taking advantage of inflation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make inflation make me rich.
But for the most
But for
people,
most people, they're scared to do that
Yeah.
because it's a risk.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to take
and-
risks.
Yeah. And it affects the
But if you
lower-
don't take risks, you're going to fuck yourself.
it affects the lower class more than anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
Because, like-
a big thing right now, in my opinion, is just having a house.
Yeah.
If you don't have a house right now,
you're-
I'm not going to give
you're done.
anybody advice.
Yeah, but you're done.
I just don't see inflation stopping anytime
you need
soon.
Assets.
I mean, we saw what happened in Venezuela, right? This
Mm-hmm.
is exactly what happened.
Mhm. That's
And
where freaking crypto and Bitcoin and other
yeah,
things
and but
come in.
their dollar became worth basically 1/100th of what it was worth.
Yeah.
I don't see that being very different here if we
Well, I
keep
want
going
to
this way.
say, dude, in the last 12 months, we've printed 40%
Yeah.
of the US dollar ever to exist. We've printed 40% of that in 12 months.
Is that a real statistic? Because I've heard
Almost
that
positive.
multiple
Yeah, I'm
times.
almost positive. Think how crazy that is. And our government's just like, okay, let's keep printing money.
Yeah, let's
'Cause-
keep printing money right into our own pockets. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, and they don't care, right?
Which, okay, this is one thing that we don't really talk about. Trump fucking pumping all that money into the economy.
He pumped up.
I mean, let's be honest, Trump is a huge part of the reason inflation is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, people blame Biden for that, but the reality is that Trump played a huge role in that. And I don't know if that was the right decision, because at some point, like, here's the reality: is the system's so broken that, like, we want to tell, like, the government's like, okay, stop printing money.
Yeah.
And yeah, that makes sense, but also then prepare, because when we stop printing money, the system's going to fall.
Yeah.
It's a broken system. Like, we've fucked ourselves because of the Federal Reserve, right?
Yeah, and he was trying to win 2024. It's like everything is
For their
riding on
benefit.
that, right? So if you let the economy crash, it's like what Joe Biden's going to do. And
Well, yeah. I mean, how do
2
you do that? What do you do? Do you keep printing money, or do you let the economy balance itself out by basically possibly a devastating depression?
yeah,
Because that's realistically probably what's coming if we don't keep printing money. It's either do we take ourselves slowly into completely destroying our currency, or do we let the system correct itself?
it's going to have to correct sooner or later.
It's going to have to correct, yeah. So prepare.
Well, that's the problem with these like 4-year cycles and a one-person president. It's like, okay, they win, and then that whole time they're trying to
Win again.
win again for the next election. It's like, hey, why don't we not have one person? Why don't we get...
Yeah, re-election should not even be a thing.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Why do we
And
need...
we spend
no,
so much
you
money.
spend 4 years as a politician and you're done.
Yeah,
That's it.
be done.
You don't get to move up the chain. Once you're a politician for 4 years, you're fucking done. Thank you for your service. Move the fuck on. Go get your life. I don't know if that's even the right answer, but it seems like it is to me.
Yeah, it's just weird that we say we don't have a king, but we have one. We have a president. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the difference? We need to have 10 different people over 10 different things. Put Obama
Like a
over,
parliament?
Yeah, put Obama over social issues because he's he's gay and married. Let's put Pelosi over stocks because she's good at making $40 million a year. Let's put.
I won't even say what I really think about Pelosi. You saw that? Did you see the video of Tucker Carlson making fun of her
Dude,
like she's
he's
Michael
the funniest-
Jackson?
Bro, he's the funniest guy.
People like, dude, the left hates Tucker.
They hate
They
him.
fucking
Yeah,
hate.
he
You ever
gets
see
death threats
CNN
and-
talk about him?
They hate him.
It's
yes.
unreal.
They hate
It's
him.
unreal.
And he doesn't give a shit.
No.
He is so funny.
He is. I love Tucker. Who knows if
'cause
he's just another actor in the theater, but I like him.
He's gotta be, but dude, he just doesn't give a shit. And people, you need somebody like that, dude.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody like that. And that whole thing with Michael Jackson was so funny. And he just did like another clip of Hillary Clinton joking about her killing Jeffrey Epstein. Did you see that? And he starts laughing like Hillary. It's so funny, dude.
I haven't seen that.
He's great.
He's really funny.
Well,
doesn't
what's
give a
funny
fuck.
is like some Democrats will go on his show.
Yeah. Like they think they're not going to get roasted. Because he does every time.
Yeah, I know, but I think like I want to say it was like Tulsi Gabbard or whatever her name is. She went on and just had like a normal, good conversation and was like, "Yeah, I don't recognize my own party. She's a Democrat." She's like, it's gone too far.
Yeah, she's somewhat sane.
Yeah, and she's like ex-military.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah. Ex-military, woman of color, pretty normal for a politician.
For a fucking politician. Yeah, I don't know. I think everything's gonna crash. I think everything's gonna fucking fall. And I think it's gonna be really good for people that are paying attention and really terrible for people that aren't.
Do you think that there's been other countries that have done better at the US with COVID and everything else the last 2 years? Because
I think the whole world is kind of a theater.
yeah,
So I think certain countries are run a certain way as theater. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, because
Because yes, there are definitely countries that did way better than the US. But they're never talked about really.
yeah, well, like Canada.
Like what?
Did you
Is
see?
it Switzerland that never had any lockdowns, or that's
Yeah.
Sweden?
Yeah, I think it was Sweden.
Never had any lockdowns, and
Yeah.
they basically got rid of it for the most part.
Yeah, and then you have the opposite of that, which is like Australia. And you saw what Canada wants to do? They want to impose a tax on the unvaccinated.
Is that real?
Yeah, I think it's passed or close to it.
Oh, Canada's a full dictatorship
Dude,
now. It's like
The
China.
Canada's president is a motherfucker, dude.
He's got to be a lizard.
No,
He's super evil for sure.
yeah, and he's like been best friends with convicted pedophiles.
Yeah,
Convicted.
he's definitely evil.
He's a bastard.
He's evil.
They've outlawed guns, besides some hunting guns, but yeah, like Canada, bro. What a bunch of pussies they are.
Yeah.
And they're run by a bastard. Australia, love the Aussies, but your government is fucked. Get out of
It's
there.
funny, like
Leave.
it's funny how you have different countries like you have like Canada where people don't really protest, and then in Australia they are protesting quite a bit.
Yeah.
But they're also like more controlled, but it also seems like the Canadian government doesn't really have to like
No,
do anything. They just fucking fucking push through all these laws. In like Australia, they have to be like they have to be more controlling and like
they have camps in Australia. Yeah. But yeah, Canada, they just say, okay, no more guns and
yeah,
we'll
and
buy
then
back
the prime minister just
and
does
get
whatever the
vaccinated.
fuck he wants. Just puts through the craziest laws, and they're like, oh, yep, okay, this isn't fun. We're not having fun, but they don't actually ever do anything.
yeah. I wonder, like, if states will get more power in the U.S. Like,
That's
Like
where we
if-
need to move to, in my
Yeah.
opinion, is like and I think that is maybe hopefully where we're going. That's probably the least violent way for us to
yeah,
break this is basically just
Live in
stand
the
up as
state-
states.
live in the state that you want to live in.
Yeah, so
You
we're
want-
broken up into states for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Now let those state governors run their states.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't like it, then move to a different state.
And also like look at that whole thing is like you can't be in fucking politics in the state for more than 4 years
yeah.
because we need people rotating on a regular basis. We need to make sure we're having normal people in there that are speaking for the actual people that live in the state. Then the fucking whole system's fixed.
How about Newsom, dude? Just a bastard. Huh?
He's a lizard too. He's a fucking lizard. Nothing that he does or says makes any sense.
No. Anybody that's pushing for the mandate is a bastard.
Or
Because you can be pro-vaccine and not pro-mandate. That's what America
the only
should be.
reason you want a mandate is because you're a power hungry fuck.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. There's no other reason.
Yeah, because if the vaccine actually stopped you from getting it,
really think about it. Like anyone with a brain wouldn't actually think this is a good idea if it was presented to them correctly. But the problem is that they've divided us so much and brainwashed these motherfuckers to think that vaccinated people are evil, that they want to do anything. They want anything that will happen just to spite them.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, yeah, you need to be fucking mandated. What? Why?
Dude, like that.
But they
goes
brainwashed him into
yeah.
doing that, and then they have this fucking army of people that this is why we've gotten
It
to where
goes
we're at.
against everything. Think of just like everything that America stands for. Everything that the United States of America stands for. Freedom. Mandate is the exact opposite of that.
Look how fast liberals went from just let people marry whoever they want to you don't get to control what we put in your body, bitch. What the fuck? Conservatives are the new liberals, right?
Yeah.
We flip
Well,
flopped.
dude, yeah, liberals were like
They were anti-government
yeah,
before.
they were anti-government and they were freedom of like speech,
Yeah, freedom of everything.
freedom of choose
Of
what
cutting
goes
your
in
dick
body,
off or
yeah.
not. But now, no more freedom, bitch. That's why? Because they're fucking hypnotized.
Yeah.
If you're hypnotized, then you're a liberal now. And we still shouldn't even divide into two camps, but that's what we do because it's the way our brains work because they fucking designed this system that way.
Yeah, I don't even like being on the right
No.
because the right is better.
The right
than
makes
left,
so much
but
more
the
fucking
right-
sense to me,
yeah,
but
it
it's
makes-
still
but
just...
still I don't like it. I want to be like, no, I'm like in the middle. Like
I'm just a fucking human.
yeah. I want to have my guns. I want you to be able to marry whoever you want. I also want you to change your sex if you want after 18. I want you to do whatever type of drugs you want. I want to make as much money and pay as least amount of tax as I can and not have any government. So it's like, where do I fit? I don't fit on the right. And I hate the left.
It's both. They're both. We're so divided now too. It's like you see the more extreme sides of the right and the left are so far gone past normal and past sane that those are also the parts of the right and left that get highlighted the most, especially like in the news and even on social
yeah,
media.
because they're trying to
Because they're
separate.
extreme.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that most people, 90% of people, are really in the middle.
Yeah,
They're more in the middle.
Most people are normal, dude.
But they don't want us to believe that.
No. If you talk to a liberal and be like, and actually ask them about January 6th and about all these other things, like, hey, is COVID, like, has it gotten crazy? Yeah, shit's crazy, dude. Okay, you're pretty normal. Everybody's...
Most people
Most
say
people,
that. I would
yeah.
say probably 90% of people will say, yeah, this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, whatever.
And if you talk to a far righter, most of them aren't Nazis. Like, you know, it's like, hey, do you really hate black people? No, I don't hate black people. You know? So,
Yeah. Most people are normal.
but that's the biggest thing about our media is clicks, views brings money. And what's the best way to do that? Through fear, through separation, through everything we've seen.
So what do we do
last
with the
2 years.
media? How do we fix the
Dude,
media?
so many people hate the media now. It's like one thing that Trump actually was right on.
But also think about this. They don't really need the media. The media is no longer necessary. Like in what we call the mainstream media. Like it's no longer necessary. Is that that just another distraction? It's just something that they use to distract us.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's
like everyone has a phone now.
yeah. And
We don't need
after
mainstream media anymore.
60 and above, maybe watch the news, but it's dying, dude.
Oh yeah.
You can see, like, you saw the breakdown of Joe Rogan's podcast versus CNN, right?
Yeah.
It's like not even close.
50 million to less than 1
That's where
million.
it's going. It's like these independent media outlets on YouTube, on your phone.
Which
Nobody's going to turn the
now,
news on.
okay, so now talking about fixing the media, so you get rid of the mainstream media because they're fucking corrupt as fuck. And then you just allow free speech.
Yeah.
It's the best way for us to just balance everything out.
For sure.
It's the best way. Because truth will
find its way.
Truth will find, or there will be the truth and
the lies
lies out there. But then it's up to you to decide and you to decipher because freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not okay. We own all of the stations and we program exactly what they're going to say. Think of being a broadcaster. You're reading somebody's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Like, think of that. You're not even an actor. You're a reader, dude. You're a piece of shit.
But you get power and money. You get power and money. They get paid well. And who doesn't want to be on TV in front of...
Right.
Who knows how many people...
They get laid.
Yeah.
They get laid.
They get kind of famous a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Dude, and this is a thing that people don't fucking understand. Like people don't see what politicians will do because they don't understand humans, number one, and they don't understand power. Like, if you've ever had any sort of power, which most humans have had some sort of power, right? No matter how small, like, you should understand that power is probably the most addicting drug there is, especially for a male human.
Yeah.
Just the way we were designed, whether we like it or not, it's the truth.
Speaking of power, what do you think about Bill Gates and how does he fit into all this shit?
I think you've got a group of men that are running a lot of shit.
The richest people, right?
I think Obama's one of them. I think Bill Gates is one of them.
Well, Bill Gates has openly talked about depopulation, vaccines.
Which, by the way, we're pretty sure that's what's happening now. Like, we've been saying this for a while, right?
Yeah.
And now it looks like they're almost starting to admit that they're basically depopulating.
Well, Robert Malone talked about those T cells, those spike proteins going into women's
reproductive systems.
Yeah. Like kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, you don't just take that back. You can't. Irreversible. Think of that. And we're just
that's
we're
one
all
thing
like,
that's
you're
still
5 years
gets me.
old? Let's give you a shot.
The fucking kids getting vaccines fucking gets me, dude. That's fucking rough. I have a really hard time understanding that you'd have to be completely fucking asleep to think that it's a good idea to put a fucking vaccine in your kid that we don't know the effects of yet.
Yeah, and they're not even...
And they have almost zero risk. You're fucked.
Zero.
If your kids are under 12 and you got them vaccinated, you're fucked. There's no other way I can say it. We don't have to agree on everything, but when there's kids involved, it's a different fucking story.
You saw Canada's president.
Are we talking about Trudeau? Fuck? He was
talking to like the 4-year-olds turning 5, and he's like, well, you can call your doctor and get it scheduled for your birthday. When you turn 5, we'll get you the shot. It's like, bro.
What the fuck? Are you a lizard, Justin Trudeau? Nothing else makes sense to me other than you're not a human that has any sort of the same internals that I have.
No.
Because, you don't get to that point and not know exactly what's fucking going on. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he doesn't know. He's just evil.
Yeah, he knows. Him and Newsom, they all know, dude. Sleepy Joe, call him alone.
Sleepy Joe might not know, though. He might have forgot a couple times. They told him the plan, and he just forgets every time.
Yeah, so, Bill, what do you, like, and so this Ghislaine Maxwell trial, right?
Uh-huh.
So she gets convicted, 5 out of 6, 70 years, blah. Okay, I don't care. I don't even care about her. I would let her walk free. I want the motherfuckers that she's bringing
That's what I want.
To,
I
right?
want to know why the fuck is Ghislaine Maxwell not walking free right now?
Yeah, walk free.
Because that's what she should be doing.
Say 5
and
names.
I would almost never, ever promote that when it comes to a pedophile because that's what she is.
Yeah, but she should.
There's way fucking bigger names that she's hiding.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is she not walking free?
She should walk free.
Because the whole fucking system is rigged, including the court that tried her. That's why.
So who do you think? Like, who are the big?
They were scapegoats, dude. Those two were scapegoats.
For
They were
sure.
never gonna let any information come out of her.
No.
They never were going
And
to.
that's why they killed Epstein.
100%.
So who are the big dogs? Bill Clinton,
Obama,
Have
Hillary
you
and
s-
Bill,
Yes.
Soros,
Bill Gates, Soros, Prime Minister of freaking
Trudeau,
Trudeau, Harry, whatever
Germany.
his name is.
the Prime Minister of Germany.
They're all. It's
All
gotta
of
be right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all connected to the Freemasons and all the secret societies. And
Have you seen that picture of old Thomas Monson?
Oh, I
Shaking.
sent it to you, didn't I?
Okay, shaking Bush's hand in the Freemason sign.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
There was a guy that was putting out a bunch of stuff about the church leaders and all the secret societies that they're
Yeah.
involved in, and like how all the churches have basically been infiltrated by the secret societies.
They're talking about a one world church.
Yeah, they're
Right?
building a center for
Yeah.
Islam and Christianity or Catholic Church to come together, and they're calling it one world religion. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm getting scared.
Yeah, I don't know. I think pretty much any organization that has control, and I don't talk bad about the church. I could be so wrong. Like maybe the church is the true Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but if it's completely corrupt, I wouldn't be one bit surprised.
Yeah, they've got a lot of money, dude. 150 billion. A lot of money can do a lot of things to people, dude.
Is that how much the church has?
In one of their funds. So it's like the Ensign Fund. Supposedly, they've tried to, hide it through that, but I want to say roughly 150 billion with a B.
Jeez, that's a lot of money.
Well, yeah, I think they outbid Bill Gates on some land, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
So,
Some land down in Florida or something.
dude, one of the old prophets said that,
What's the point of the church having $150 billion?
I think one of the old prophets said that he said that there'll come a time where the church won't ask for tithing.
I've also heard from conspiracy theorists that there will come a time when the church bails out the U.S. government or something. Have you heard that?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I want to see the church have a lot of money, and then at the same time, it's like, well, like
Why?
150 billion. Like, hey, why don't we give 50 billion to
The 3 million members that are actually showing up to church.
Yeah, or don't. Yeah, but think of what you could do with that money. You could do so.
And the
much
church
with
does
that money.
do
The church-
good.
yeah,
but
they do
they
good,
do
but-
150 billion net worth good?
No,
That's a lot of fucking money.
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of
Billion.
fucking money.
Yeah, it's run like a.
And you
Like a
think
business.
well, also think about the people that are high up in the church.
Yeah.
Think about managing the church's money.
Oof.
That's a lot of fucking power. That's a lot of fucking power because you think they don't have to do anything illegal with the money.
Yeah. No, they
And
just
their
do
life can
normal
get
investments.
so much fucking better because of who they do favors for, who they're connected with.
I want to say the church with their investments makes 26 million a day.
So think about this. I get high up in the church and I'm in charge of a fund for $100 million of the church's money. What do I do with that money? I funnel it to my friends first. You own an investment company?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Of course that's what they're going to do.
So my neighbor works for the church and he does investments. He's pretty churchy, so he won't tell me, but after the fact, last year once things got out, he's like, "Oh yeah, I helped invest in Tesla." We made like however much. They made so much damn money. Tesla, Coke. It's like,
But they also have money invested in Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna.
they've got it,
Like
right?
hundreds of millions of dollars. I think they have like 300. I could be wrong on this. Maybe look it up. But I think they had like something like $330 million invested in Pfizer. Which, okay. If I'm an investment guy for the church, I'm gonna be like, hey, put some fucking money in Pfizer. Put up $300 million in Pfizer. Because
Right.
we're gonna triple it.
We're gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of the church when they came out and were, started talking like, hey, get vaccinated, wear your mask. It's like, dude, most people wear their mask to church. Makes me sick.
Is that real?
That's a real thing. Like, my aunt's ward in Centerville, I guess.
You also got to think about a Mormon mentality, though, too.
Yeah, safe.
Mormon are kind of sheep.
Safe and just kind of.
Right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Do
people in the
whatever.
church are just very,
Yeah.
just go along to get along.
Yeah.
You know?
But like some people that are like in my ward that I'm like, hey, you're kind of a badass. Oh, you're wearing a mask?
Yeah, but you also got to think it's not just about them wanting to not comply. It's about them wanting their neighbors to think they're a good person.
Yeah.
You know? People care way too much about what other people think, and that's
No,
the biggest thing that they play on, right?
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing that they play on is you're going to be judged if you don't do this, and then people just don't want to have to deal with what someone else is going to think of them.
And that might be the worst.
Even a
thing.
stranger.
That might be the worst thing in the Mormon religion is people care so much
Yeah.
about what you think, what other
Too
people
much.
think. Yeah. So
Which obviously everyone's guilty of it, but it's just seems to
it's
be
worse.
an issue in the church.
Yeah. Holy hell, dude. We got a crazy world.
Yep.
And it's only getting started, dude.
It's only getting started. Just wait until like the whole world starts to find out what's really going on behind the scenes. Because it's going to come out. Eventually,
Yeah.
stuff's going to come out. Like, eventually, I think we'll figure out the truth.
Well, think of people that lost businesses, family members. Think of the suicide rate, dude. Think of abuse, like child abuse.
Did you see that video
The last 2
that
years.
Jordan Peterson
I don't
that
know.
Aubrey Marcus posted today? Play
It's
that.
good.
Go to Aubrey Marcus's page.
Aubrey's a badass. Huh?
I love his page. He puts out a lot of good shit.
Yeah, he's a badass. You know where him and Rogan, because obviously they started their
On it.
company. You know where Rogan met Aubrey?
Where?
Aubrey was working for, guess what? Fleshlight.
Is that real? He's
And they
he's a
were-
wild
They
dude.
were one of the first sponsors of the Joe Rogan podcast.
That's hilarious.
Fleshlight.
I didn't know that.
How long are we going to flail about
This one.
hiding behind our masks, afraid to send our children, who are in no danger more serious than risk of the flu, to school? Charging university students full tuition for 10th rate online education, pitting family member against family member over vaccine policy, and, most seriously, compromising the great economic engine upon which our health also depends. Until we decide not to. There are no risk-free paths forward. There's only one risk or another. Pick your poison. That's the choice life offers. I'm weary of living under the increasingly authoritarian dictates of a polity hyper-concerned with one risk and oblivious to all others. And things are shaking around us. Enough, Canadians. Enough.
Yeah.
How long are
Hyper focused on one risk and completely oblivious to
Yeah.
all others.
That's exactly
That's exactly
what
what's
we've done with
happened.
COVID.
And we've hyper focused on the risk that is like one of the least. Because we're not even going to fully understand the fucking devastation that lockdowns and closing businesses did to our society. We can't even, it's not even measurable.
No, and that's just talking economics. But think of personally,
Yeah.
people
But
that
emotional,
lose a
I mean,
business, like
suicides, everything, dude.
Yeah.
Sickness.
Well,
Like,
they said
we're going to be,
child
I think the
abuse-
next decade, we're going to be sicker than we've ever been. because we fucking locked ourselves down.
Just think of the last 2 or 3 months, dude.
Mhm.
Everybody has this flu, cold, COVID, new Omicron, and they have colds. And dude, literally every single person I know is sick.
This is
People are
also
texting me.
this is also what I said would happen, right?
Yeah.
We haven't get to the other part that I talked about was going to happen this winter, but we'll see what happens.
It's crazy, right?
Crazy.
So do you think Omicron is it?
What do you
Is
mean?
that the last variant? Or is communism the last variant?
Communism's fucking here. I mean, let's be honest. We're China
We're close.
before COVID.
Do you think Winnie and Rio will speak Chinese?
Well, Winnie looks
She does.
Chinese little.
Crazy, right? Becca just texted me as we were talking. She's positive.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course she is,
Yeah.
though. Yeah. She lives
So-
with you.
Yeah. So that means the kids are positive, and guess what?
They won't even notice.
You remember severe illness?
I do think
Yeah.
this one is worse in kids, though, right? This is like a normal cold for kids.
Yeah.
Because the first COVID strain was like nothing for kids. Like, most of them
but
didn't even notice.
They didn't even get it.
It's
I don't
super
think.
weird, huh?
Yeah. But it is weird that everybody has Omicron. Doesn't matter if you've had the other ones, and it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated. The
That's
vaccine
odd.
doesn't do
That's
anything.
odd.
Like you could potentially say, okay, like for the other ones, well, it doesn't stop you. It might help and maybe keep you out of the hospital. Maybe, okay. For Omicron, the
But
vaccine doesn't do shit.
but one thing that conspiracy theorists are saying right now is that this was created by the vaccine,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
We've
it's
got
vaccine
a
escape
few
variant.
months. Yeah, we got a few months before they'll come out and be like, yeah, this was because of the vaccinated.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory of 5G
Yes.
and the vaccine,
Uh-huh.
the mRNA?
Uh-huh.
What do you think? Like what? I heard
It's
that
a
and I was
little
like,
far
bro.
fetched. They've been saying that for a long time, though. I
Something with
remember,
5G,
like,
right?
yeah, 5G's been a conspiracy theory for a while, and it's kind of changed, I think, as time has gone on. Because originally people were saying that COVID was just them using 5G towers to make us sick.
Oh yeah.
So it's changed a little bit, and that's why it's a little bit far fetched for me. But could it be real? Yeah, I cross almost nothing off the list, not even flat Earth. It's 99% crossed off the list, but it's still always on the table for me.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, we could still be just cattle that
Okay.
think we know anything, but really don't even have any clue
What
as
if
to what's
flat
going on.
earthers are right? That would be so funny.
I've talked
I'll
to
tell them I'm sorry, but
But if you believe the Earth is flat, I don't know. It could be. It could be. Honestly, I've never gone down the rabbit hole. I've talked to a
Yeah.
few people that are pretty convinced, and I know it's just how many dots can our brains connect that aren't real, you know?
Yeah. Well, my thing is like round or flat. I don't really care. Maybe I would care because they've been lying to us, and why?
Well, yeah, it would be weird too, because then everything you think you know about the universe is not true.
Yeah.
Like, what do flat earthers say is about the universe? Is it just like a projector that's projecting something that's not even there?
Cloaks. Spaceship cloak.
Okay.
Do you think Bart thinks the Earth is flat? We should have asked him.
Oh, we should have asked him. I wonder
bet
what
he
he
does.
thinks about it.
I bet he does. Who knows?
I'll ask him tomorrow what he thinks about flat Earth.
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many conspiracy theorists. Too many conspiracy theories, and like it just hurts my head to think of them all. And when you get a few right, then some people just go too crazy,
Yeah.
and you're like, bro, you gotta like what?
Yeah.
did you say?
You and I have both
Yeah.
been there though.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Because
about today,
once-
Pizzagate.
Yeah. Well, once
Not
you-
that I think that's completely false, but I feel like it was definitely an embellished, made up thing by conspiracy theorists
Yeah.
that like they were onto a lot of good information
Yeah.
and then they pieced together too much
Yeah.
and completely missed.
Mm-hmm. It's like with Alex Jones, dude. 99% of the shit he says is actually true and it's come true, but then
Right.
he messed up really bad on Sandy Hook, and then people just discredit him.
That's the problem, is no one has all the information usually.
No.
So they fill in parts where they,
Yeah.
and that's
And
where
when you find an actual conspiracy theory that's correct, and you're right on that, then you distrust everything else. You're like,
right.
well, no shit, the Earth is flat. You know?
Because why would they tell us the truth about that?
Yeah, exactly. But then you start getting crazy in your own head. Like, is nothing real?
I think
Yeah.
about that all the time.
You're like,
I think
oh,
about that's what I'm
shit.
saying. It's like, is this just a
Yeah,
whole
so
fucking?
is it better
all
to
theater?
just like live your life and just like not worry about this stuff?
I think that the whole point of becoming enlightened is not letting your emotions
Yeah.
make you suffer in any way. So if you're worried about this stuff, then don't pay attention to it. But also like look at, why are you worried about this stuff? Right? Like, because are you worried about the way the world is going? Are you worried that you're not going to have control?
Yeah.
Do you not trust yourself? So what I always say, get your house in order. Because I think like bad times can be really good for people that are opportunists, that
For
people
sure.
that pay attention.
For sure.
Like where there's this, like over the past 2 years, like a lot of people would tell you that it's been super hard. They lost their job, they lost money. But the reality is that like if you pay attention, the last 2 years could have been really fucking good for you. Because there was a lot of opportunity. There was a lot of wealth transferred.
Tons of opportunity.
So it's going to be the same. Like even if we go into depression, it's not like every single person suffers.
Yeah.
A lot of people can find opportunity and really make their life better during times like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to trust yourself too.
Yeah.
So if you don't trust yourself, it's probably because you're not following through on shit that you should be following through on.
Yeah, and we just talked, an hour and whatever, just about bullshit and how crazy the world is. But that at the end of the day, it comes back to, hey, how are you gonna react?
Every single
To
time,
this.
it'll always come back to
Yeah.
you. Who are you?
Yeah, and
That's
We're gonna
really
leave-
like we could talk about
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want. You could talk about what's going to happen, but the reality is the only thing that actually matters is you as a person and you as yourself, and that's it. And you having control over you.
yeah. And when
It's the best thing you can do.
when we
it's the
turn
only
this
thing you can
off
do.
and leave, I'm not gonna have anxiety about the shit we talked.
No.
Like it was fun.
That's
It
and
was
that's
like,
great.
The world is crazy.
That's where people
And
need to
then,
be.
Guess what? I'm going back.
Yeah.
Back to normal
Back to
life.
you're going back to work on your fucking self
Yeah.
and focusing on you and your family
Mhm.
and making that as good as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's where you don't miss opportunities. But if you're paying attention, oh,
You're
I'm
so worried
fucking
about
scared of
every
like
step.
they're
Yeah.
telling me
Yeah.
this and this. And no, focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going on outside of you. And that's it.
Mhm.
And then your life will be really fucking good no matter what the fuck is happening in the world. And that to me is where heaven and hell exist.
Mhm.
Is your heaven exists based on what you're doing in your fucking world and where your focus is going. Right? Doesn't fucking matter what's going on in the world outside of you. It doesn't matter because you can control your own reality.
Mhm.
Right? And like, this is why obviously we're good friends and like we've kind of like evolved together,
Mhm.
you and I, of like moving into this space of like being super focused on progress,
Yeah.
getting better, being uncomfortable, and like if people would focus on that, we would have a great society.
For sure.
So it doesn't fucking matter. If you're scared of depression, stop. Stop being scared and start looking for opportunity, and it will show up every fucking time because there's been a huge transfer of wealth over the past 2 years. And over the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's going to be way bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be way bigger. So just fucking pay attention because there's a
Get
lot of
ready.
opportunities out there.
Yeah, what do they say? The optimists and pessimists, they're both right.
Yeah.
It's like, Yeah, you can find the negative, or
Whether
can
you
find the
believe you
positive.
can or can't,
Yeah, you're right.
you're right.
Mhm.
Or the quote is actually, he who believes he can and he who believes he can't are both right.
Mhm.
The way you believe that you can is by staying on top of your shit. The more you follow through the things, the more you keep your word, the more you put time and energy and effort into yourself as a person. That's it.
It's
Right?
crazy. Yeah, you gotta quit shaving, dude. You look like 15-year-old Chase.
I know.
It's
I look like my
hilarious.
dad too.
And I look like
I
my
don't
dad
like
with
it.
my mustache.
The mustache goes well for you. I can't do the mustache.
Yeah, you look bad. You look creepy. I look creepy, but I'm mostly joking. So. You know.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us. Was that the biggest conspiracy episode we ever had? Probably. Probably not.
No, because it was all true.
Yeah.
Everything we said was true.
Well,
Well, minus
we don't know.
minus Michael Obama.
We'll play this back in 3 years and see.
Michael,
All right.
don't hurt us, Michael Obama.
Thanks for listening.
Oh man. Yeah, Rogan thinks that Michelle would win if she ran.
think she would too.
Do you think she's a bad person?